back to my channel. Welcome to a new video. Welcome to something I'm very excited to do. Before we get into this, if you don't know me, my name is Amelia and I upload weekly vlogs and lifestyle content. At the moment a lot of it's been book content and this video does not change from that. So before we get to this, if you do enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, please comment down below, please subscribe, please check out my social medias down below, they are linked in the description, and without further ado, let's just get on with the video. I'm so excited for this one. So for this video, I don't know if anyone remembers back like a few years ago when I started my YouTube. Basically, they did this whole Instagram controls my day. I have incorporated that into reading and have basically said Instagram controls my TBR, which means to be read list. And I've only got 4 books I'm doing it for this video. I wanted to do a TBR 4 books for this video, so I can get through my TBR, so I can actually allow myself to buy more books. It is partly that reason. And I put together polls on Instagram, and before I get into the polls, which one I had it against and how it went, how many it won by, I am going to show you the books that I'm actually going to read for this video. So, as I mentioned, I have 4 books, so obviously there was 8 to choose from. So the first one I'm reading is Definitely Fine, which I actually only just bought and I'm actually very excited to read. So that's the first one I'm going to read. And then we have Just Haven't Met You Yet by Sophie Cousens, which I'm very excited to read as well. And then we have one of the most highly anticipated one I have on my list, Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. Cannot wait to read this. And then Ghosts. I'm very excited to read this, but that's the last book on this list. I'm going in order of what I put on Instagram, so we're going to see how many they won by. I am in kind of a time limit of filming this clip because I've got a timer on my food is cooking in the kitchen. So first of all, I put Definitely Fine between 500 Miles From You by Jenny Colgan. I kind of expected 500 Miles to kind of get a higher percentage, but 79% of my Instagram followers chose Definitely Fine by Amy Lavelle, and 21% was 500 Miles. Then for Just Haven't Met You Yet, 83%, 17% for Up Close and Personal, which I put it up against. I put Ugly Love and Daisy Jones and the 6, which I wasn't sure how well if it was going to stay at 50-50 because a long way it did until near the end. And honestly, I knew how popular both of them were, so that's why I put them together to see. But Ugly Love won by 67%. 8 people chose Ugly Love and 4 people chose Daisy Jones. This one I was very shocked about because I expected it to be the opposite way around, that Ghost would be higher, but it was literally so close. I got 46% for More Than Fate, which is by Townsend Birch and Andrew Severson, which the reason I expected it was because that book's not that well known. Nothing against the writers, it's just that they published it last year. They're not well known authors, but they are, you know. But I'm very excited to read that one eventually. But Ghost won by 54%. So my Instagram followers chose my TBR list for the next 4 books. I can't wait to get into reading this. I will obviously read it, do some time lapses and discuss how I'm feeling during this process. I am also going to be tabbing it. I'm not going to annotate it, but I'm going to tab it so I know my favourite bits are. But I'm very excited. Anyway, let's get on with the video. It's time to start reading. I have a cute little setup. I have my little throw on the floor, the book, some cake, water, and my post-its for tabbing my book because I'm getting into that now, you know. And I'm going to put How I Met Your Mother on because I can't sit and read with music and I can't sit and read in silence, so I like to put stuff I have already watched and don't really need to pay attention to so I can read and chill. And it should be a good evening of reading. I'm going to time lapse myself for a bit. I'm very excited to read this book. I should probably have got tissues because it's a sad one and I'm really worried how much it's going to give me, but yeah, let's see what it's like. chapters of Definitely Fine. I've tabbed it already. I think it's actually a very good book so far. I think it's sad. I might put my normal light on. I tried to make this cute little aesthetic with my sun lamp on, but it's actually annoying me more than it actually thought it would. So I'm going to sort that out quickly. Back. I really like the book. Oh, you know what? I'm going to try and put you down and I'm going to lean and talk. I know you can't see me right now, but hopefully you can now. Yeah, I read the 2 chapters as mentioned, and I did do a clip yesterday, but if I forget to put it in, at least I'm going to update you here. I really like the book. So far, I'm only 2 chapters in, so I know it's got a lot to change. I've had emotions, sadness, humour, happiness, like, and a little bit of cute love involved in the same thing. I think it's very moving. Like, it starts straight off with the idea that they're in hospital waiting and hoping that their mum's gonna live, but unfortunately doesn't. So also this vlog is gonna contain spoilers, so just so you know. And I think it's just very moving. I think it's a good story. I'm excited. Okay, apart from having like pins and needles in my foot now, I've read another chapter, one more chapter of this so far. I am obsessed. I really like it. I am about, what did I just see? 12% through the book, which obviously is not that much. I do document everything on my Goodreads, so I should hopefully link it down below. Give it a follow. I really like this. I think Hannah is really trying to take control of the funeral, trying to take control of like looking after her family and being like the headstrong person when instead of giving herself time to grieve. So I think she's struggling a little bit. I am about 34% through Definitely Fine. Well, okay, I'm hungry. Got quite a few tabs in there. I'm actually further through than the tabs I couldn't find my post-it notes. So I bought some more, then I found them, but it's fine. So I'm gonna get on with some reading now. Just got to feel like reading before I sit with the computer, do some editing later. Now 41% through that book. Oh my god, the chapter I just read was intense. I felt like I was there. This book is good. It was New Year's Eve and yeah, you can just imagine what happened, like the mess, the drama. Oh my god, I loved it though. Absolutely loved it. I'm taking a break now. Probably gonna read a bit later on tonight. I'm just gonna get on with some editing. But this book is so good. I think I definitely going to recommend it to people. I'm currently, I don't know how many stars. I'm gonna predict I'm gonna give it 4 stars. Okay, so I'm 52% as far as I'm aware. Where's Goodreads? I like to log how far through I am of a book on Goodreads and Storygraph, to be honest, but mainly good. I'm 52% of the way through Definitely Fine. And it's getting very interesting. It's really fun to read. What's this? What is that? I don't know what it is. Everything's stuck to me. That's great. As you can see, I've tabbed it quite a bit. For the first tab books I've got, I think it's pretty alright. My next chapter is called How to Behave at a Dinner Party. The last one I read was, I don't know what was the last chapter I read. How to Clean the Ceiling, and honestly, it was very interesting. Hannah had a panic attack. Hannah also had a go at Maria, which I really liked. I don't like the character of Maria. I think she's a stuck-up, selfish bitch who only cares about herself, and Hannah's obviously going through some stuff at the moment, and she doesn't really care enough. She cares too much about being a bitch. And I obviously know you sometimes use those kind of characters in a book, and I do love reading about it, but I don't like her. So I'm going to read some more of this. I've got Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets on, and I'm going to read, I've got some water, and I'm just going to read for a bit. So I'm now like 70 something % through this book. Let me have a look. 73% through. Definitely fine. It's getting intense. I will keep saying there is spoilers in this video. I'm going to put it in the title as well. But it's very, like, oh, she's just wanting to try for a baby, and her boyfriend doesn't think she's ready for it. Then they babysat their friend's kid, and she was struggling to deal with it and handle it. Like, he dealt with it a bit better. And, yeah, it's a little bit intense. So she's trying to have this baby to, like, not replace her mum, but obviously to try to think maybe she should stop thinking about her mum. But I don't think you'll ever stop thinking about your mum just because you have a kid. I think your mum is someone you're going to remember whatever happens, no matter how many kids you have, whatever happens in your life. Okay, so definitely fine. It's finished. I finished it last night. I stopped tabbing after a while, not because I didn't want to, but I was reading it on the train, and then I read it really late at night last night that I just didn't want to tab it. So I'm gonna try and tab it from what I remember later on. If not, maybe when I reread it eventually, because I probably will reread it. I loved the story. I loved the ending. I love that it's written out in a way. It's kind of like a how-to guide. But it's told in the story of Hannah, who is the girl who lost her mum. But it's like a how-to, and I love the idea. I just think it's a very good book. It has some funny moments in it. I found one. Okay, this is probably not the funniest bit in the book, but I found it really funny at the time when I read it. So a guy called Dan says, "Whatever helps you cope, really." And Kathy set up, so that's true. I've been sleeping with a lot of younger men. I really found that helps. They have so much youth and vitality. Well, I don't know. It's just funny. It's a little early for me to be saying this, but yeah, I really like this book. I give it 4 stars. The next one I'm reading, as I mentioned earlier, is Just Haven't Met You Yet. This is the second book of this vlog. It is about a girl called Laura who's built her career out of interviewing people even, about their epic real life love stories. When she picks up the wrong suitcase at the airport, she wonders if this could be the start of something that's written in the stars. From piano sheet music to a battered copy of her favourite book, Laura finds in the bag evidence of everything she could hope for in a partner. If Laura's job has taught her anything, it's that when it comes to love, you can't let opportunity pass you by. What if fate has other ideas? I'm intrigued to read this, excited to read this and see what I think. So I'm going to read the first 2 chapters on the train to London, and then I will tell you how I feel either when I get home or tomorrow morning. Okay, so I started reading this on the train yesterday. I'm on chapter 3, which is page 20, so I'm 5% way through the book so far. And I think there's like a little like, what's the word? Relatability with the last 2 books I've read. Someone died in it. So the last book I read was about someone's mum who died, but the whole theme of the book was based on that. I don't think the whole theme of the book is based on that, but her dad's dead, and then it was that her mum recently died in this book. I'm not gonna lie, the first 2 chapters have not been interesting at all. They've been very slow. I haven't related to anyone yet. I know it's only 2 chapters in, but I'm not related to anything yet. So we'll see how I go today. I'm actually now, because I'm at home, gonna tab it and highlight it. Obviously I'm taking it with me to work today, so we'll see how far I get into it today. I am 22% through Just Haven't Met You Yet. I'm on chapter 8, and I'm not sure how I feel about it right now. I feel like I know it's a romance book, but I want to know when I'm thinking she's going to fall in love with this taxi driver. Not the guy in the suitcase. Because that's just the way it seems to be going. And like, if it goes that way, then I'd like it, because I do like Ted. I think Ted seems nice, and just his story seems good. But I have a feeling it's not going to go that way. Also, one thing I'd say, I did like that it has a map of Jersey at the beginning of the book. I think it's really cool. But it's a very slow start for me. I've got not many tabs in it, as you can see. Obviously I did start it on the train, so that's why some of it's not tabbed. But I do like they've got these little like insert bits at the beginning, like before another chapter sometimes, and I do like some of them, like kind of motivational quotes, and I like it. So I'm not sure how I'm feeling about this right now, but we will see how I feel later on. It's a little slow compared to other ones I've read, and yeah. Okay, I'm 30% of the way through this book. I'm actually going to do some reading now. I have an hour till I need to leave for work, so I think for those 20-30 minutes I'm going to read. I'm on chapter 11, so I'm going to try and read a chapter or two before work. Let you know how I'm still not really enjoying this book that much, you know. I feel like it's very slow for me. I just have this weird intuition that she's going to fall for the taxi driver, just by the way it's going. Is it 46 or 42? 46% of the way through. I've just read 2 chapters of this book, and it's now getting interesting. I'm actually intrigued what's going to happen, because Laura just kissed, well, not just kissed, she was just too drunk. She was just about to kiss Ted at his father's party. I really like Laura and Ted. Like, I'm really rooting for Laura and Ted. But the suitcase guy has just called, and so I've kind of left myself on a cliffhanger because I want to find out what happens, but I'm not going to read any more till tonight. Nearly halfway through the book. I actually really like it. I'm hoping to finish it by Monday, Tuesday time. So I feel like this weekend's going to be a proper reading weekend, but it's fine. Okay, I've been a bit under the weather today. It was like, I think I'm getting a cold. It would make sense. I've taken a COVID test. It's negative. So I have been reading for quite a bit today and actually really enjoying it. I'm 74% of the way through this book. Kind of want to finish it today because I'm going to be like relaxing over the next couple of days, and I'm either going to bring my laptop on my bed and have like a movie a couple of days, or be at my desk. But I'm going to do between a mix of editing and reading, and I really want to move on to Ugly Love, like, so bad. So I'm aiming to try and finish this, or nearly finish it tonight. I don't think it's going to take me that long. It doesn't look like that long to read. It's getting interesting, but I just really don't like this Jasper guy. He just seems too perfect, too good, and I just feel like he's not the one for her. Especially the way it described the kiss she had with Ted. So basically, she kissed Jasper, and it didn't describe it that well. But then she kissed Ted, and it described it like it was that magnificent, like chemistry, like soulmate vibes. So I can't wait to see what happens by the end. And I just got Monsters Inc. in the background, so I'm gonna read this. I will try and catch you up. I'll let you know if I finish it tonight. And yeah. Okay, I just spent the whole evening finishing Just Haven't Met You Yet. I've just finished reading Just Haven't Met You Yet. I think I predicted the ending. I give it a 3.5 rating. I think the whole first half was super slow. It got interesting halfway through, and I very much predicted what was going to happen at the end, and it didn't change. Like, I knew what was going to happen. So 3.5 stars for this book. It was good, but not good enough to make it 4 or 5 stars. So yeah, we'll be next on to the third book of this reading vlog, hopefully tomorrow. But I'm going to stop talking now because my nose is running. So okay, it's reading the third book of this reading vlog. Third book of this reading vlog. It is Ugly Love Time. I've heard so many good things about this. So I can't wait to give it a try, see if it is as good as everyone is hyped up to be. This is the third book, as mentioned. I finished Just Something yesterday, as I said, and it was actually, the ending was very good. Okay, I've read 5 chapters of this. I'm 15% of the way through of Ugly Love so far. I'm not gonna lie, Colleen Hoover does it very well to make you want, like, intrigued as to what's happening. And what's happened in the first chapter, straight away, I was wanting to continue to read because I wanted to find out who Rachel was. Like, it's about a girl called Tate, who is this guy Corbin's sister, I think that's his name, and she's going to live with him, and then she meets Miles, who is passed out outside her brother's apartment, like, drunk, and then he goes into the apartment, and he starts crying and says sorry Rachel, even though that's not who he's talking to, but he thinks it is. And now I want to know who Rachel. I know who Rachel is because they do. What I do like is they have one chapter in Tate's point of view, which is the present day, and then they have a chapter in Miles' point of view that is past tense. And I really like that they do that. I think it's really good. And I'm very intrigued at what happened between Rachel and Miles to make him the way he is. So I'm really intrigued. And I'm liking it so far. This could be a new 5 star already. And I'm only 5 chapters in. So we'll see what happens later on. We're 26% of the way through Ugly Love. It's getting good. So Tate and Miles just... Oh, interesting. Tate and Miles just kissed, and basically set up plans to, not plans, but basically become friends with benefits. Not even friends with benefits, just a person to hook up with. I did, to be fair, find out that's what they did because I read the back and it says that they have a perfect no strings arrangement. He isn't looking for love and she doesn't have time for it, so they just have sex. And then he has 2 rules: not to ask about the past and not to ever want to not expect a future with him. And I can already see how this is going to go, but I'm so excited. I'm loving it. I really like this story. I didn't think I'd like it this so quickly, but I'm actually really enjoying it. I was hoping I wouldn't give into the hype and be like, oh, maybe I won't, but no, I actually really do like it. I understand why it's, like, very raved about. So, yeah, Colleen Hoover knows how to do it. Okay, we're like 31% of the way through this book now. I'm on chapter 13, which is Tate's point of view, which is present day point of view. Oh my god, I've just read, like, Miles's chapter 12, which is when he was alone in a house with Rachel, and that relationship, I honestly don't know what happened so far, what's going to happen with them, like Rachel and Miles, but that's their story. It's breaking my heart already. I love them. I hate that I would side with Miles if my dad basically was obviously having an affair with my mum, and then once my mum passed away, he just got with her. Like, I said it was okay, and expected that for me to be okay with it, because, but that story, oh my god, it's just amazing. My heart is broken for them. This is definitely, if you're looking to get out of a reading slump, this book for sure. I might make a book about books that got me out of my reading slump, because even though I've read every single book I've planned to read this year so far, obviously some of them I've not been hooked on. So I'm gonna do. I might do that maybe in the future when I've read a few more books, because I've got a video going up before this goes up. It's book reviews, and you'll get half of it now. So. Anyway, this book is good. I'm loving it. I'm hooked. If I don't sleep tonight, that is why. I am gonna have to sleep, but yeah. This book has me in a chokehold already. I only started it this morning. Hey, we've just finished the third book of the reading vlog. This took me just about 24 hours to read. This is pure perfection, the best book I've read from this reading vlog so far. Once I've read all four, so once I've finished Ghosts by Donny Olderton, I will rank which one's, I'll tell you which is my best, even though I've said what rating I've given it. But oh my god, this is just amazing. I give it 5 stars, obviously. I just love the story. The finding out that Rachel, how Rachel and him ended was because they were in a car accident, basically. Car went over into the water, and his baby was like a day old, and baby died, and she didn't think, she hated him for it, and oh, it broke my heart. And that's why he didn't want to love Tate, because he just felt like he couldn't. And then he went to see Rachel and got closure, basically, and then fell in love with Tate, got married, and had a baby with her. And also Rachel had a baby, so like her life is good as well. And I just, my heart is, I can't. I understand the hype now. This is such a good book. Colleen Hoover knows how to write a good story, and on the back it says only Colleen Hoover can pack that much brilliance into one novel, and I do agree. She is phenomenal, and definitely recommend you read this. It's so good, so good. But yeah. Anyway, we're about to start reading the last book of the reading vlog, and I know I should probably give myself a break after reading Ugly Love, as it is the same day and it's only been like 2 hours since I finished reading it. But if I'm honest with you, I can't want to sit on my laptop, and I don't want to just sit in my bed and do nothing, and I just want to read. I'm actually in the reading mood, and when I'm in the reading mood, you gotta let me keep reading. So it's time to read Donny, Olderton, Ghosts. Not really sure what to expect. I have her other book, which is Everything I Know About Love, which is obviously a bit more autobiographical. I can't say the word. Not sure what to expect from this. The first line of the blurb goes, "Everything gets easier in your 30s, right?" I'm not in my 30s, so I can't guarantee that. I've read the prequel, or whatever you call it, prologue of this book, and it is so boring. I guess it's just a prologue. I'm hoping the rest of the book lightens up. I'm gonna take a nap though, because I can feel myself falling asleep. And I'm just gonna take a nap to try and like hope it helps, and then I might have a coffee at 3. But yeah, it's a very boring like prologue. So, but it's just at the end of the prologue. Where is it? I just read it, but my 32nd birthday was the simplest birthday I ever had, which was a perfectly lovely way to begin the strangest year of my life. So I'm sure it's going to get more interesting. But it's just telling me everything I already know about people in their 30s being married, having kids, la la la. And she's single, and she wasn't ready for another relationship until now. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay, I am 18% of the way through this book now. I'm actually just read chapter 3, and I think because I read it when I was like still feeling a bit meh and tired, and my brain was still on Ugly Love, and I started reading it, I couldn't get into it. But I've actually enjoyed that chapter, so I didn't really try and give this a shot. But yeah, in this chapter, I'm just seeing what happened. Like, she's trying to make a friendship work with her friend Catherine, even though, like, I don't know, it just isn't really working. It's like you try your hardest to not spend as much time with each other. And then she went she's meant to go to a workout class with her friend Lola, and in the end they ended up going to the pub for drinks, And there's a little quote I wanted to what she said, which Nina says is, "How do you know if you've never been in one though? What if you're putting all your hopes and planning your entire life on finding this one thing and then it disappoints you?" Because Lola's looking for a relationship and she's never had a relationship. And I feel like it's one thing that I needed to hear a few years back, because now I don't actually care. Like, I'm talking to guys on dating apps, but I'm not really bothered about having a relationship. If it happens, it happens, but if it doesn't, it doesn't. But I've really found that I needed to hear that a few years ago because it would have probably helped a lot. But 34% of the way through this now, and it's getting interesting. I'm on chapter 7. I've just read 2 chapters today so far, and I mean, a lot's happened. I don't know if I like this Max guy that Nina is dating. He just seems a bit like... There's a quote she says, and then I highlighted it, just literally just now, saying, "Don't give me a subtle warning that I've got to behave exactly as you'd like me to, otherwise you'll go off me," which I think is a very good point. Okay, I'm 40% of the way through Ghosts now, and the last 2 chapters I've just read have hit me hard in some ways, because I basically just gone through this. Basically in chapter 8, her dad, because her dad's losing his memory slightly, and she's starting to see that he's actually aware that he's losing his memory, and he's aware of what's going on with him, and it's just a bit complicated. And then Max, the guy who she's been dating, has, like, they were walking where she used to live, and he was saying how he saw them living there. He told her he loved her, she said she loved him back. And then the next chapter you have like a bunch of text messages between them, and it's basically, and as I was reading it, it was hitting me straight away what was going to happen. And it basically just makes me feel like it's literally what I've just gone through, and which is he basically led her on and has now decided to ignore her. So I think she's one of my favourite characters. She's just so, like, such a spirit animal. I love it. And yeah, I think at the moment it's like, it's on 3 stars for me. It's on the verge of 3 stars. I don't think it's going to be anything higher. But yeah, I've got 27% left to read. I'm probably going to probably finish it today, because I'm not doing much today. So yeah. How exciting. Anyway. Oh my god, this vlog is now finished. Wow. I have just finished Donny Olderton Ghosts. I think it's I don't really know what I'd give it a rating, because it's like, I liked it and I think it was a really good story. I think some bits could have been cut out, but it would still been fine. But really the story is good. I love the ending, like really love the ending. It was like, because I was really worried, because basically in the second part Max comes back, they get back together, and then he does the same thing to her, but before he did the same thing I thought, oh, they're going to end up together, and then he basically goes to her again, which is an arsehole move. Her neighbour she finds out when her neighbour's been the way he has, and actually becomes like I wouldn't say friends, but like they're civil. They actually got on now. I wouldn't say civil, they're more like friends, but yeah, and her dad's memory is sad, but oh, I just love it. I think it's a really good book for people who are like for example, like I'm just going through getting ghosted, and it can be hard to think why. No, I'm not like that bad. They didn't fall in love with the guy, so it's not that bad, but still. And I just think it's a good story. I think it's gonna get 3 stars for me just because it did take a while for me to get into it. 3.5. I'm gonna be generous and give it 3.5 because I think the reason I have given a negative start to it because I read it the same day as I started reading it the same day as I read Ugly Love, and obviously I loved Ugly Love so much. So yeah, I'm gonna give it 3.5. I'm gonna get all the books and then literally just do a little like review, and then I'm gonna do a quick review of all 4 books I read for this reading vlog. I can't believe I actually finally did it, and I can't believe in the space of like a month I've read 4 books basically, because I started at the end of February, and in a week I've read 3 books already. So I read these 4 books for this reading vlog, and I honestly I'm so glad I did. So I read, first book I read was Definitely Fine by Amelia Levelle. I absolutely loved this book. I think it was just perfect. It was funny, it was emotional. It's a book about a girl called Hannah. It's in her point of view, and she got a younger sister called Laura. I think that was her name. Oh god, I'm gonna get it wrong. Yeah, Laura. And she's got her dad and then her mum, who is recently. And at the beginning of this book, basically her mum has had a fall and her mum dies, and it's basically the whole book is like her journey of how to like move on, and in some ways not move on, but like cope with the fact of losing her mum. And yeah, you can just imagine what it's gonna be like. It's funny. I love it. I think it's very, very well put together, and it's got 4 stars from me. Just Haven't Met You Yet. This one is about a girl called Laura who goes to Jersey for a work piece she has to write, and she picks up the wrong luggage when she gets there, and then she goes through the luggage and realises that this is her soulmate, this is the guy she should be with, so she does anything she can to track him down. While she does that, she meets this taxi driver called Ted, who she basically asks to take her around Jersey so she could see the places that her mum and dad would like saw together, etc. And this taxi, it's kind of like a love triangle. She has to do a decision, and she ends up falling for Ted, and I absolutely love it. I give it 3.5 because it was such a slow. Her first half was like no, it was so slow, but the second half, yes, I loved it. I think I loved her relationship with Ted. I just didn't like Jasper. I think he was just, I don't know what it was about him. Too perfect. I don't know if I just don't like perfect guys. So 3.5 stars just because it was a very slow start. Next one, my all-time favourite from this whole reading vlog, and I want to reread it so much, and when I do reread a book it will be this one. It's Ugly Love. This book has me by a chokehold. Colleen Hoover, it ends with us, I just love so much. Such a perfect book, such a perfect story. I read this in under 24 hours, well not in just about 24 hours, and honestly it was the best book I've ever read. I loved it. It's basically about a girl called Tate. She moves, I can't remember what it is, but she moves, oh my god. There's like, I was gonna say, I think it's San Diego, maybe San Francisco, somewhere. San Francisco. And she meets this guy called Miles. Miles is a pilot with her brother Corbin, and he doesn't want a relationship. She does, but she finds him attractive. She's also very busy, so they agree that they can basically have a perfect no strings arrangement, no strings attached. And he basically makes 2 rules, so you never ask about him about the past and don't expect a future with him. And you can obviously see where it's going to go. She ends up wanting a future with him, etc. And the reason I love this so much is it has both point of views, and you can understand why he doesn't really want a relationship. And it's not because he's busy, it's because of everything that he went through with Rachel. And I really love that by the end of the book he actually does fall in love, and I honestly want to reread this so badly, and it is on my list of things to reread, and I will at one point. And then the final book is one I've literally just finished reading, is Ghosts by Donny Olderton. I think I should not have read it, started reading it the day I finished Ugly Love, because it definitely put a little it definitely hindered how I felt about the book at the beginning. But I did really like this book. I started reading it on Monday, it is now Friday, so it's taken me like 5 days to read. I think it's a really good book. I think it can be very relatable, and I think it's like when you read, this is a really good book. If you need something to make you realise you don't need a relationship and you just need to focus on yourself, I think this book is really good. If you're not looking for like one of those self-help books, this book is really good for it. I give this a 3.5 just because of when I started reading it. My own fault more than the book's fault. I think this is just such a good book. The story, the way it's described about, like, you know, she's in her mid-30s, she's like 32, and she's been ghosted by a guy because he would rather someone younger. And you know, if I was 32, I'd be like, oh, I want a relationship with her. She's got a friend Lola who is also that kind of person who believes that she wants to have a relationship, and yeah, it's a good book. I think it's very good. I did not like Max. From the beginning, I knew something was going to happen with Max. I obviously knew it was going to be about Max. And he just, I think because he ghosted her, he was just a douchebag. He could have just been honest with her. And then he did it again. And again, wasn't honest with her. Such a douchebag. I can't stand those people. And it is partly, I'm saying this, and I think I've spoken about it in my vlog. I've been recently been ghosted, and it doesn't take that long to be honest and just go, hey, I'm not interested in getting to know you anymore. I'm not interested in this. I'm really sorry. I'm sorry I've led you on, etc. It doesn't take that long to do that. But this book is amazing. Love it. It's funny. It's like sad at times. Her dad's got like memory problems due to him having a stroke in the past, and it's really emotional because you see her go through everything, and you're like, because you can see how I couldn't imagine going through the idea of seeing my family or someone in my family, especially someone so close to me like that, go through losing the memory and like having to try and put the pieces together, and it worries me for my future if that ever happened. But it's just such a good story. I love it. But yeah, 0.5. I do want to reread it another time, maybe when I've not just read a really good book beforehand. But yeah. But anyway, that is the end of this video. I do hope you enjoyed this reading vlog. I'm very happy I've done it because it's really got me into reading 4 books. I do want to find out when I actually started this video. 23rd of February, which is not even a month ago. So in less than a month, I have read 4 books, which usually would not happen. I'm so happy I have though. I loved it, and yeah, I do hope you enjoyed this reading vlog. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, please comment down below, please subscribe. I'm probably going to be doing a few more of these. I've got one more I'm doing where my Instagram followers choose 2 books, and I'm doing one for a book I read when I was younger, well not younger but like about 5-6 years ago, and I loved it, and I want to see if I still love it. So yeah, I do hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you again very soon with another video.